In the early 1930s, Inwood was still becoming a city neighborhood. New apartment houses stood beside wooded slopes and exposed rocks, the last traces of rural Manhattan. Edward Van Sloan lived at 230 Seaman Avenue, beside Inwood Hill Park, with his wife, Myra, and their son, Paul. The 1930 census listed him simply as stage actor. At the time, his work was known mainly within the theater world. Van Sloan was born in Minnesota in 1882 and spent years in touring and regional theater before establishing himself in New York. In 1927, he took the role of Professor Abraham Van Helsing in the Broadway production of Dracula. The way he played it, calm, methodical, and unshaken in the face of what seemed genuinely sinister, he effectively created the version of the vampire hunter that would come to define the genre. It was not yet famous, but it was already his. In 1931, Universal adapted Dracula for film and asked Van Sloan to return to the role opposite Bela Lugosi. On screen, his steady, deliberate portrayal reached a far wider audience and became the standard for the vampire hunter in American film.
Learned. It would be well for you to return to your own country.
I prefer to remain and protect those whom you would destroy.
You are too late. My blood now flows through her veins. She will live through the centuries to come, as I have lived.
He appeared in Frankenstein later that year and The Mummy in 1932, again as the voice of reason confronting the supernatural. By the 1940s, his film work had faded. He returned to the stage, later taught acting, and died in 1964 at the age of 81. The building still stands, without a marker or mention of his time there. But for a moment, before Dracula reached the screen, Edward Van Sloan lived here in Inwood, simply another working actor in New York.